Once upon a time, in the early days of Louis XIV's reign, there was a man named Nicolas Fouquet who held the prestigious position of Superintendent of Finances. He was a generous soul with a penchant for extravagant celebrations, beautiful women, and poetry. Money held a special place in his heart, and he led a life of opulence. Intelligent and utterly indispensable to the king, Fouquet anticipated that, upon the death of the Prime Minister Cardinal Mazarin in 1661, he would step into the coveted role. However, the king had other plans. He decided to abolish the position. This decision, coupled with other subtle hints, made it clear to Fouquet that he was no longer in the king's good graces. Determined to regain favor, he hatched a plan to organize the most magnificent celebration ever seen. Officially, the event was meant to mark the completion of the construction of his Louis-Vicomte castle, but its true purpose was to pay homage to the king, the honored guest. Prominent figures from European nobility and some of the greatest minds of the time, La Fontaine, La Rochefoucauld, Madame de Sévigné, were invited to partake in the festivities. Molière crafted a play for the occasion in which he would take the stage. The celebration kicked off with a sumptuous 7-course banquet featuring exotic foods from the Orient, never before tasted in France, and specially crafted recipes by Vatel. An orchestra played melodious tunes to honor the king. Following the feast, they strolled through the castle gardens, designed by the renowned Lenoble, much like the future gardens of Versailles. Fouquet himself guided the young king through intricately geometric flower beds and lush groves. As they reached the canals, a breathtaking fireworks display unfolded, followed by Molière's captivating play. The festivities carried on into the late night, leaving everyone in agreement that it was the most incredible event they had ever witnessed. However, a few days later, the plot thickened. Fouquet found himself arrested by the king's chief musketeer, D'Artagnan. 3 months down the line, he faced accusations of embezzling state funds, although much of this money had been spent with the king's approval and in his name. Fouquet's fate was sealed with the confiscation of all his belongings and banishment from the kingdom, later commuted to a life sentence. He met his end in Pignerol, a distant Alpine fortress. And so, the tale of Nicolas Fouquet's rise and fall became a chapter in the annals of history. In the realm of Louis XIV, the Sun King, there existed a man of pride and arrogance who demanded to be the constant center of attention. He could not tolerate being outshone in splendor by anyone, least of all by his Superintendent of Finances. To succeed Fouquet, Louis XIV chose Jean-Baptiste Colbert, a man notorious for his stinginess, renowned for hosting the gloomiest receptions in Paris. Colbert ensured that all the treasury's money flowed directly into the king's hands. With this financial backing, Louis XIV embarked on the construction of a palace even more magnificent than Fouquet's, the grandiose Palace of Versailles. Utilizing the same architects, decorators, and gardeners as Fouquet, the king orchestrated even more extravagant festivities, surpassing those that had cost Fouquet his freedom. Such is the fate, in one form or another, of all those who dent the master's self-assurance, challenge his vanity, or cast doubt upon his preeminence. On the 17th of August, at 6 o'clock in the evening, Fouquet was the king of France. By 2 o'clock in the morning, he was nothing.